The day I got engaged, my sister slept with my fiancé. My family took her side, not mine. I never looked back. After 5 years of silence, they reached out with shocking news. And karma hit harder than I ever imagined. 5 years ago, my world shattered when my sister Melissa, then 22, and my fiancé Lucas betrayed me. Lucas and I had been together since college, building a life over nearly 5 years. He proposed at a surprise engagement party, and I was overjoyed. Until 11 p.m., when I stepped into the backyard for better phone reception and caught Melissa and Lucas kissing passionately. They were so engrossed, they didn't notice me at first. Stunned, I stood frozen, watching my sister and fiancé betray me on what should have been one of the happiest nights of my life. When they finally saw me, they pulled apart, but the damage was irreparable. I fled to my car, drove to a hotel, and tried to process the betrayal. Soon after, Melissa texted, apologizing but admitting she loved Lucas and their affair had been ongoing. Lucas followed with a message confessing he proposed to me to forget Melissa, calling me a temporary distraction. Devastated, I stayed at the hotel for days, hoping it was a nightmare. After 4 days, I returned home to find my family waiting, including Lucas and Melissa. They'd been living there while I was gone, and though they'd tried contacting me, I hadn't responded. The reunion was chaotic. Everyone greeted me warmly, even Melissa, who hugged me tearfully. I was too overwhelmed to react. I announced I was only there to pack and leave for good. Lucas, silent until then, said he'd already packed and was moving in with Melissa now that their relationship was open. My family's cheerfulness baffled me. Despite my pain, they smiled, as if nothing was wrong. Unable to hold back, I demanded why they were so happy. My mother explained they couldn't change the past, but wanted to accept the future, believing Melissa and Lucas were meant to be despite their cheating. Melissa apologized again, tearfully claiming she loved Lucas and wished she'd told me sooner. Then they kissed in front of me, and my mother wiped away a tear. Disgusted, I called their behavior repulsive. To my shock, my family turned on me, calling me bratty and selfish for not supporting Melissa's happiness. My father even told me to stop acting childish and accept it. Feeling betrayed, I packed a bag, left without a word, and ignored their pleas to stay. It was clear they valued Melissa's happiness over mine. After that, I cut contact with my family. They tried reaching out, but I ignored them, even declining an invitation to Melissa and Lucas's wedding. Many friends and relatives supported me, distancing themselves from my family after learning how I was treated. I removed them from my social media, wanting privacy, but also hoping they'd see I was thriving. Petty, perhaps, but justified. For 5 years, I lived my life avoiding their updates. Then, 4 days ago, my mother called from an unknown number. I nearly hung up, but her distress stopped me. She explained that Melissa and Lucas's business, started a few years ago, was failing. Investors were pulling out and they were drowning in debt, pursued by loan sharks. My mother begged for a $75,000 loan to help them, knowing I was financially stable. When I asked why Melissa didn't ask directly, she said they were too ashamed, but she had no one else to turn to. My parents and Lucas's family had helped as much as they could, but it wasn't enough. I refused. After their betrayal, I owed them nothing. I reminded my mother how they'd dismissed my pain 5 years ago. She cried, calling me cruel and warning I'd regret not helping. I ended the call, but her relentless texts, urging me to reconsider and warning of dire consequences for Melissa, overwhelmed me. I questioned if I was wrong to refuse, but my resolve held. Update. I blocked my family, a step I should have taken years ago. I kept them unblocked partly to show I was doing well and partly out of fear I'd regret cutting them off. Now I'm done. Refusing to help isn't about revenge, it's practical. They've mismanaged money before, and $75,000 is a significant sum I can't give without expecting repayment, even from close friends. My friends agreed it was the right call. Blocking my mother brought relief from her guilt tripping. Update 2. A major incident happened today. My neighbor called while I was at work reporting a couple causing a scene outside my house, demanding to see me. She described them, and I knew it was Melissa and Lucas. Fearing trouble, I rushed home. When I arrived, I caught them trying to pick my lock. I confronted them, reaching for my phone to call the police, but Lucas knocked it from my hand. Melissa claimed they just wanted to talk, not steal. I refused to let them inside, and we spoke in the yard. Melissa said my mother told her I'd blocked everyone, accusing me of overreacting and seeking attention. She'd sold their house and jewelry to cover debts, but hinted she might need future help, expecting me to agree. Furious, I told her I hated them and barely restrained myself from physical confrontation. Lucas demanded I sign a document promising future financial help, which I refused. When Melissa pushed me, claiming I owed them as family, I grabbed my phone, jumped into my car, and drove off. I called the police, explained everything, and returned home as they arrived. They arrested Melissa and Lucas, though I knew the charges were minor. Surprisingly, my family hasn't contacted me since, which feels oddly quiet. Update 3. A week after the arrests, my parents showed up at my house, less confrontational than Melissa and Lucas. I let them in. My mother cried, apologizing for siding with Melissa. My father admitted they were wrong to dismiss my pain and said they'd cut off Melissa and Lucas after learning about the physical altercation. I appreciated their apology, but said it was too late. I'd built a life on my terms and had no desire to reconnect. They urged me to reconsider, but I was firm. I wanted to be alone. They left, disappointed, asking me to unblock them. I did, which feels strange, but I'm still done with rebuilding ties.